Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say, make tango say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo.
Hello there. Good afternoon to you. Good morning to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. And today being a Sunday, this is Sunday sermon on the 12th of December. Good enough, you are watching it live. If you are joining me, share the broadcast. Them say the north is bleeding. I am saying the north is not just bleeding, it is dying. The entire Nigeria is dying under this APC. Sunday sermon, no old bar. You go hear am today if you have the time. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, if you have already shared the broadcast and you have already dropped your offerings, okay, our offerings on Maiyegun's Diary Political, which start from you liking that video. You've shared it. That's part of the offerings. Like that video before you begin to settle down for today's sermon, Sunday sermon. Nigeria is blowing up. Yeah. Then the criminals who used ethnic, religion, tribal, and every other vices they could manipulate to get to power, abandoned them, and again, They are calling on us because they feel like they are bleeding and we have not been paying attention. We have been talking about it, but it's just that every time we talk about the failure of Buhari APC, Egbekegbe in northern Nigeria and of course in the entire Nigeria, there are some sectional part of the country who defend him. Criticizing Buhari or exposing them is considered an effrontery on the people of northern Nigeria who are also victims of the failed Nigeria. So when we were condemning Buhari, when we were calling him out, our brothers and sisters, majority of them from northern Nigeria, especially the Buhari idiots, the cyberbarians, they defended Buhari, but they won't be defending him for too long. Now that some of them have started calling on secure north. So we want to use this program today to remind them of that phrase that everybody go chop breakfast in this Nigeria that Buhari has brought upon all of you. Now everybody go chop breakfast. And I've said that repeatedly on Maiyegun's Diary Political, whether you are supporting Buhari, whether you are not supporting him, whether you are supporting APC, whether you are not supporting them, whether you support one Nigeria, whether you don't support one Nigeria, wherever you stand as it is today, except you stand strong enough to at least know why you are still living or what you are living for, right? Nigeria has become so messed up that nobody is safe. Now, gone are the days where you will see Nigerians who have this mindset that they are being abandoned, they are being marginalized because of where they come from. But our brothers and sisters from northern Nigeria, especially those fanatics, I'm talking about those Buhari idiots, they kind of enjoyed the tag of born to rule. Okay, so gone are the days where you feel like as long as it's a Yoruba man there, Yorubas will be safe. Maybe if an Igbo man is there, the Igbo people will be safe in Nigeria. Oh, well, if a northerner is the president, of course, it's never going to look away while the terrorists kill us until Buhari came and proved everybody wrong. And we have been very consistent in exposing this fraud until you repeated the same thing in 2019. So today, that you want the whole world to know that the northern Nigeria is, northern Nigeria is bleeding. We saw when the stabbing started, and majority of you contributed to that. So few days ago, these young people put themselves together. They wanted to be like their counterparts from southern Nigeria. So they decided to stage a protest all over northern Nigeria. So they started with Kano, Abuja, and I think they did one as well in Kaduna. Immediately, that became public. As usual, Daura Secret Service, DSS, the Daura Secret Service that is so efficient, consistent in discovering those who want to hijack protests. You know, that's what they said about NSAS protests. Some people were trying to hijack it, or some people have already hijacked it. And they later turned it into what they called insurrection. Insurrection means when you protest in Nigeria, you are trying to overthrow the government. Insurrection. So that is the play card. So the DSS that can discover those who want to hijack protest for political reason. The same DSS cannot discover the 18 billion naira transacted by terrorists within Nigeria financial system in just between 2021 January and 2021 December. Nigeria terrorists transacted 18 billion naira for terrorist related businesses. And you can tell the effect of that in Nigeria today. Your Daura Secret Service doesn't see that. They always see those who want to hijack your protest. However, they sold the same card to these young people. You know what they did? When they did that first day protest, the guys were like, we're going to do it again. In fact, we are going to do it in all the 19 northern and the middle belt and states. So immediately, the Aura Secret Service invited them. I'm sorry, I was to put this on the screen so that we could read together. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to read it out. The name of the girl is called Zainab Nazir Hamad. You know, when the Arab Spring started, and then it blew to Africa, where even in Sudan, where women actually led and started the protests that eventually saw to the end of Omar al-Bashir, the former dictator. And you know what Sudan is today, right? So this lady who became the pointer, because that's what they do. Who is the leader? Who is the head of this idea? Crush, when you cut off the head of a snake, you've killed the snake according to them. So they went for her. And immediately they went for her. They told her that, listen, we are not saying you should not protest about insecurity. We are not saying that you shouldn't, complain about the killings. But we just want you to know that if you go out there to protest, what you are doing is that you are giving Buhari's enemies, because all of you criticizing Buhari because of what has happened in your different areas in Nigeria, in your different communities. And you're like, Buhari, now God go punish you. Buhari, God go kill you. Buhari, this go happen, that go happen. All of you will feel the same way. The playbook is that you can continue to feel the way you feel about Nigeria, but don't ever hit the streets. If you hit the streets and you pick on any of these problems in Nigeria, like insecurity, what you are saying is that Buhari has failed. Now, you know that the people who always say Buhari has failed, they are mostly Christians. I'm saying this to you not because that's what I believe. I'm telling you the playbook, their playbook. If you go out there to condemn that the economy is in red, unemployment is at the worst level, 40 years record. If you do that, you are going to be agreeing with Buhari's enemies, other Nigerians who have spoken up, condemned the corrupt, inefficient Buhari. So that's the playbook. So once they open it for you, it's now up to you. What do you want to fight? Because that automatically means the government is not ready to listen to you. They don't want you to say anything. You are talking about the insecurity. Okay, yes, we know about it. We are doing something about it. But people are dying every day. Of course, we know people are dying, but we are working on it. So what else? But we cannot continue like this. We need you to do more. Yes, we are going to do more. So what else? But we are going to protest so that you will do it. If you protest, what you are saying is that Buhari has failed. That means you declare yourself as the enemy of Buhari. Now, once you declare yourself as enemy of Buhari by criticizing him in public, then we also have the right to respond. Therefore, we have it on record, though, there are people who wanted to join you for this protest, though, we know. But you know those people who want to join you, they are enemies of Buhari. They are not joining because they want you to be safe or they want Nigeria to be safe. They want to join you because they want to destroy Buhari, as if to say Buhari is not worthy of, whatever he is not worthy to be destroyed for the safety and the lives of millions of Northerners who are dying every day. And all of us, they join on top Facebook with the fight and they abuse ourselves. Shut up your mouth, blah, 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 blah. But the narrative is that if you go out there, that means you are agreeing with Sunday Igboho. You are agreeing with the Biafrans. You are agreeing with Nnamdi Kanu. You are agreeing with the Yorubas who are asking us to break up. So if you go out there and the reason why they want us to break up is because of the inefficiency, the incompetency, and then the corrupt, murderous system of governance that Buhari has brought. It has divided the country further. So you, as a Northerner, remember, you were those who called that we should bring Buhari. If Buhari fail and all of you are dying today, It is not you to go out there and tell others to come out and do this. If you do it, then we're going to treat you like we treated the others. That's what they told the girl. Not just the girl. They told him this. I mean, they told her, they said, there are some people who wanted to hijack your protests so that they can blame Buhari. So what we want you to do is that we know you just want to call the attention of the president. We have heard you. Fine. Don't do any protest again. Go and tell all of your people that it's cancelled now. You cannot do any protest in northern Nigeria against the insecurity. And that's the end of it. The girl can't go post social media. Don't mind me. I'm going to read word for word though. I want to let people know from today, I am dissociating myself from the protest that started today. I am kindly advising my Kano people to stay away from tomorrow's protest. I am aware of some issues and I'm worried about the safety of people, and I don't want anyone to be hurt due to such action. It could be very risky for people to protest tomorrow in Kano due to the information I heard about the plans to hijack and cause chaos for some political interest. DSS told her that. And that's the very simple playbook, right? And it is the same playbook they sold over NSAS protest. And that's why you will see all these some-boot slaves, obedient fools, sophisticated morons, all these Lagos Abobakus, these crumb beaters, ass lickers, crumb chasers. Because politically, it is not of them to join others who call out the failure of APC, or the failure of Buhari and his gang. It is not in their place. And even if they see black, if they see white, they can continue to call it black, and you will never be able to change their mind. Allegiance means die, sink, or swim. In this case, drowning. A drowning country where the best asset, the best and the most valuable resources any part of the world would love to protect, which is the human resources. The best part of the resources we have, getting plundered and cut short, killed, like, you know. But you cannot join others to talk about it. Intimidation, fear. And that's exactly what actually brought me, one thing that actually motivated me to want to do this broadcast on the Sunday sermon today. You see what that girl did? They say wisdom is profit to... The girl knows, they've told her. And the reason why they managed to tell her is because she is leading something from the base of the terrorists in government. Before we shoot and kill you, because we will kill you. See, we have killed a lot of people all over the country. Those who try to challenge or question the way Buhari and his gang are dealing with you in that country. We have killed a lot of people for less. Don't make us kill you. And we won't care whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian or whatever. We don't care. If you pave way for Buhari's critics, which they call enemies, to have a chance of exposing him and whittle down whatever groundhold they have on you, you will pay the price, and it could be with your life. Threat, intimidation, and that is what mostly we call home training in Nigeria. Look at this society that you see now. Look at it. Look around you. We are the products of that society. We are that society. As mixed up, as matched up, as, imbalanced as it is, we are product of that society. Nigeria, that Nigeria society that we are all now trying to say, please, we are drowning. We are drowning. We need to get out. We need to get out. Opt out. Opt out. We are the product of that society. That society expects you to keep short. especially when what you want to talk about involves people who are older than you, people who claimed to be educated than you, people who are richer, economically better than you by standard, right? The society wants you to, then others, the people in authority. Starting from the family, the mini democracy. Let me say it here, where the mini community starts from. A child is considered to have a kind of a better home training if he or she doesn't question things done by adults. When I say adults, that includes our parents. And what many of you don't know is this. If you look at Nigerians, right? Look at Nigerians generally. You will realize that you have a very few critical thinkers who are confident enough of their thoughts that they are ready to push it and make a difference in virtually everything that is currently wrong. This is why they programmed us in a way that when you are young, even when you see something wrong, you are expected to keep it discreet enough. Depends on who is involved. As a young person, when you begin to grow up and you start having some level of contrary opinions to general beliefs, especially with people who are older than you, most of the time, such kids were classed as over-sabi kids. A sense of psychological bullying that many, many young people try to avoid. How? You will be sitting down with people who are older than you, who should know better than you. And they're having conversation about something like political conversation. Things that they should know how much that affects even that little kid who doesn't even know if he's a Nigerian or someone else. And then you'll be listening to the content of their conversation. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. I know we may not be many. And you'll be wondering and say, well, I think I should correct them. I should say something here. All these things are not right. And if you try it, you will be somehow, they will profile you and say, you see that boy? He's always a 2-0. It's a 2-0. Everything we talk about this, talk about that, he's always having a different opinion. We're telling him that this is how it is done. This is Nigeria. He's talking nonsense because to them, you are talking nonsense. But this is the psychological bullying part of it. This singular act of shutting you up before you even say anything, because the society wants you, right? The society wants you to walk straight to people who deserve no real respect. But because they are older than you, the society wants you to, even if you don't like the process, the society wants you to still go there and bow for that person, because that is his own entitlement. He's older than you anyway, even though if he's senseless, as useless as anything you can think of. The society don't want you to be confrontational. They call it confrontational, being confrontational. Because the society is hierarchical. And it started from our younger ages. When we were kids, they groomed us to keep quiet. And a child that barely talks and obey all this command is considered a child with a good home training. So children who see abuses, children who see adults doing all the horrible things, children who were curious. We were once children, you know that? Children who were curious. They saw what adults were doing, learning from them, because adults told them to, because it was all right for them to do that. This same characteristic is what later became what we have as our society today. The adults were those who first gained into, they will be the first to gain access into power. So when they have access to power, when they misuse it, they bully everybody, bully everyone into it. The young ones who look up to them are always waiting for their own turn. They used religion. A lot I've said on this part, how they psychologically programmed us to be who we are. People who can really think critically. You know, when we were young, curiosity. Sir, why is this thing like this? A kid will ask. Shut up your mouth. Small kids don't ask that question. You are too young to ask that question. Shut up. So they then have to learn you do them for the wrong reasons. So when we groomed and raised adults, baby adults, people who have age on their side, but they can't really think. When you tell them that there is no rocket science, that the reason why the insecurity in Nigeria is what it is today is because your government is part of it. And they are not even hiding it. That can be too much for an average Nigerian to take in. How can government support terrorists? How can our because he doesn't have that, as simple as that thought is, right? An average Nigerian can't think critically. Thinking critically is too much because many of them were not actually made to. Nigerians were raised to live a life of survivor. And you see, when you live a life of survivor, what you are trying to survive from is the poverty that you have seen destroyed others. Therefore, what you are actually trying to survive on as a Nigerian, most of the time, is to survive to survive the next hunger. That is why most Nigerians, when they think about food. When after food, they think about luxurious things they can't have, but they would love to have. Pleasure is because how we were raised. And it is not just any particular part of the entire country. Put Nigerians inside the room and give them a paper and tell them to prove. I'm not saying Nigerians are not smart. We have smarter Nigerians all over the place. But we are talking about the majority. The majority that the politicians have discovered, continued to destroy. And that destruction, which has brought more poverty, that destruction has now become a weapon that will continue to hold the few who have thought so critically and be like, man, if Nigeria continue like this, forget it. Nigeria no fit work. We're just deceiving ourselves. Something needs to be done. Something needs to change. If not, forget it. Everybody could just leave and die. You just live, die. And this time around, there is no guarantee that even if you live a good life, that you're going to die old. You can get killed anytime. That is the collusion of your government. Your government is doing everything to reduce the education, the understanding of exactly what is bringing about the insecurity, which you know. But see, because they have so oversimplified it, it is not a danger to you. Since it is not a danger to them, it is nothing like an emergency to them, even when people get killed every day. So it may be too difficult for most Nigerians to be able to agree or accept that, because they were not really made to have that critical mind. Majority of them are thinking about what are they going to eat tonight. Majority of them are thinking about how they are going to pay back at the small loan that they collected from one app. So many of them are thinking about how are they going to survive this week. Food. Many of them who have been trapped and made poorer because of health conditions, because, well, there is no government help to give you a better health system to at least never push you into poverty. We have so many people who have now fallen into poverty, not because they did any wrong business, not because they invested in anything wrong or what have you. No, not because they had no money to steal from government anymore. These are people who are well-to-do. But when Nigeria happened to them, they ended up having to use their money to take care of their health. So when you are worried about everything, what am I going to do next? How am I going to pay my house rent? How am I going to pay the electricity bill? How am I going to pay for my children's school fees? You know, the politicians know this. Those are the majority. They don't have time to think about why Boko Haram are being pardoned or not. They don't have the time to think about why Naira is being devalued every now and then. They don't have the time to think. They know these things they're happening, but to them, they just feel like maybe this wahala not too much. She wahala not too much. How am I going to be thinking, now Nigeria can be better, or I can contribute to make Nigeria better, or make my life better in Nigeria, when I'm actually thinking about how to make my life better in the first place? How am I going to feed my children this week? They can't think rationally. They can't think clearly. They can't think critically. They can't ask. When you ask them, do you know how much billions you have spent on electricity, and yet they are still promising you that they will get you electricity from 3,500 megawatts to 25,000 megawatts with a new contract with Siemens. The same Siemens, they are continuing to sign and resign contract with Nigeria on electricity for God knows how long decade. They just steal the money. Obasanjo have stealing own money. Yaradua steal. This one steal. But they don't have that critical mind of, if we don't stop them, they are never going to stop. So they then have to push everything and say, you know what? About the wahala too much. If you think about Nigeria problem, person if you get, you need to take care of your mental health. Nigeria problem can ruin you, can this and that. Baba, we'll just leave everything for God. That is so easy, isn't it? When you have no answer, when you can't think it, when you try to figure it out, it's not making any sense to you, because most of you were not really made to have critical mind, to think critically. Majority of Nigerians are interested in now. What are we going to get now? If they bring money now, Baba, I go collect. Baba, see, nobody fix Nigeria. Nigeria cannot be fixed because it can't think of any other thing other than how is he going to survive tomorrow? How am I going to manage my data? I'm running out of data. Maiyegun, this is your video too long. This is your video, they're too long. They make them short. We are running out of data, but data now money. I know. But that's part of your worry. Just same way you are going to worry for, how am I going to pay house rent? Where am I going to see money to pay my child's school fees? How am I even going to pay my own school fees? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? You know what I mean? Data is a problem too. Because the poorer you are, the farther you are from getting access to real information that can make you think critically. It's only when you think critically that you spark up. Zeke, thank you very much for this. I could have missed that. So for your super chats, guys, if you are watching me on YouTube, okay, and you haven't really subscribed onto Maiyegun's Diary Political, you can do that now. And you can also be a member of Maiyegun's Diary Political on YouTube, where you can be a silver member, a gold member, platinum member, and on like that. These are monthly paid subscription that people paid to support their favorite content creators. So with the super chats as well. So thank you to everyone who always kind of reach out on that. Critical thinking. And that is why, as we speak today, majority of them right now, they are already thinking. To them, they are thinking. But their thought is about, okay, who is going to help us now? Who is going to be president now? Who should we vote for? They are not interested in probing the process of that election. No. That is too much. That one is too much, Jare. All this, we know that they are all this thing and that. But who should we vote for? The way they are programmed, they can't think. And since they love to treat, what's that they call? They love to treat symptoms or something like that. I don't know. They just love to treat as they want things done now. They have no idea of the rotten system that produced the rotten candidates that will continue to maintain the rotten system for them. They can't think that much. That's why we're having all these problems. Oh. That is why when you say Biafra, they go straight into rage for no reason. And when you ask them, why are you so angry that Biafrans say they want to go? Why? Why are you angry? Go where? Go where? Go what nonsense? Nigeria is it because of what are they going? They'll be asking themselves some useless questions because those are the questions they ask themselves because they are not asking themselves the right questions because they don't have the capacity to think and ask, if these people say they want to go, why? Oh, their reasons are so genuine. Why is everybody not talking about that? Only critical thinkers can think that way. But a one-way traffic thinker, which is the thinking level of an average Nigerians, is all about Nigeria will be better if all of us can pray. As if to say they are not praying enough. Nigeria will be better and better if we kill all the corrupt politicians. But when election comes, you will see the same people asking you that we should kill all the corrupt politicians. You see them telling you that I still prefer Atiku Sha. Even though I don't like all this APC nonsense, I still prefer Tinubu Sha. If I don't believe in election, but if I have to vote, I will vote for Tinubu tomorrow. I will vote for Atiku. Or I will vote for El Rufai. Because that is how they are programmed to think. For anything that can just give them momentary kind of satisfaction. You know what I mean? Oh, once Buhari comes in, I can just go to bed and sleep. So said a Buhari idiot in 2015. Most of these Buhari idiots, most of these cyberbarians, most of these highway thinkers, most of these thoughtless Nigerians who were so confident and going lyrical in 2015, some of them know the Nigeria again. What they told you then was that once Buhari comes in, Nigeria go fine, oh. Hey, corrupt people will run, oh. Oyinbo will be begging for Nigeria visa. Wow. And all the looted funds will come back to Nigeria, and Nigeria will be great again. That even this loudmouth Maiyegun, he will have no choice than to return to Nigeria that Tifnumbu and gang were building for you. They promised you Eldorado. See this Maiyegun, this one will not be patriotic Nigerian. You're enemy of progress. You're enemy of this or that. Once Buhari wins, once APC, Egbekegbe wins, many of you are abroad, you will be begging, you will be running back home. We didn't know that the Olori Burukus, the Weres, they are going to turn to Abroadians. Those of them who had their small money, and some of them who managed to build enough contact during the February 2015. Those who managed to build here and there, many of them are now in London. They are in America. They are in Canada. They are all over the place. They are now from there telling the Mumumadus, telling the Buhari idiots back in Nigeria that change takes time. There is no stay back to wait for that change to take time. They all japa. And from abroad, they are now loving Nigeria from abroad. There are some of them in Canada. I monitored them that time, yeah. These guys, after in 2015, from abroad, they sold the APC, Egbekegbe, to the, what do you call it? To the Lagos buffoons, the Lagos Abobakus, and the rest of them who are the super spreader of the message. On the day of election, these guys, they flew to Nigeria. They paid people, mobilized, do everything, and they ensured that Buhari, these are Yoruba guys, oh, they are not Northerners, oh, they are Yoruba boys. The guy is popular, so there are many. There's another one called Mama Poverty. Her name is something Awokoya. She is called Mama Poverty. So they stay in Canada. They traveled back to Nigeria. They voted. They mobilized. They did everything. They took pictures. They were so happy. Nigeria is going to be great. When the first coronavirus of Buhari hit them in Nigeria, and people started running away, say, "Oh boy, me, I don't go. If anybody wait they last for Nigeria, I beg, make sure say you shut the door and turn off the light. Oh, we don't go. 2019, these wearies, they returned to Nigeria. It is their right. Some said, Maiyegun is their right. Don't call them weary. Okay, there is no better way to describe them because this is what happened. They settled a hop, used all the sweet mouth they can tell you, all everything they could promise you from abroad. And when they brought the calamity on you to renew it, when all of you wanted to stage a comeback, yeah, they returned to Nigeria. They spent more money, spread more propaganda about next devil. Immediately they finished, they flew back to Canada. Now from Canada, they are now tackling enemy of Nigeria from Canada. Some of them are tackling the enemies of Nigeria from America. Some of them are tackling the enemies of Nigeria from London. But for those of you who are the Lagos Abobakus, the crumb eaters, the ass lickers, the crumb chasers, the all risers, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, those of you who feed from that because they are your mentors, you have to stay back and continue to hope. Ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line of all of this is that a system that says we should not condemn criminals or condemn foolish people or stupid people because they are old. It is our duty, ladies and gentlemen, it is our duty to remind them that, yes, they may be older. Foolish people also grow old. They also grow old. Stupid people also grow old. So are the criminally minded crooks. They also grow old. Do we now accord them the same respect simply because they are older? Now, that mind is part of what will make many people, some people don't like me simply because they feel like I don't have respect for their leaders. And I said, listen, you have leaders. You also have dealers. Leaders show responsibility. They don't pass blame. They don't push blame. They don't pass box. Every box stops at the table of a leader. A leader will not go into an arrangement that makes life easier for terrorists and harder for his own citizens. That's not leadership. That is a dealership. And again, if you can't think critically, and you are the type that 5 minutes, just 5 minutes thinking is too much for you to do. Before you get to that 5 minutes, you don't hand everything over to God. Listen to me. That you are religious. You believe so much in God. And God help your faith, which indeed I respect. Handing things over to God doesn't make you a critical thinker. And I'll tell you this. Some have told me, why do I need critical thinking? I need God wisdom and that. Those are the excuses that multitude also have when they don't have any thinking capacity at all, or even comprehension capacity or processing capacity. They are not built that way. Now, if you can think something, that's one of my philosophy, right? If you can think it, then you can do it. But if you don't have the capacity to think it, there is no dream, there's no prayer, there is no God that is going to hand something over to you without you doing the work for it. Leadership is responsibility. When we get up and stand up to condemn the terrorists who are making money off you, off your blood, the blood of your children, it is not because we are victims yet. And it is not because we will likely not be victims too. It is because whatever happens to you negatively in that country of Nigeria today, you don't need any soothsayer for you to know where or who is to be blamed for it. Somebody is responsible for that. A system is responsible for that. Some people are in charge of that system. They are responsible for every negative thing, including if a Nigerian life is lost. And if you don't see it that way, and you defend them simply because you think bringing them out, exposing them, calling for their balkanization or ostracization, is not because we hate them. It is simply because you are a victim now, or you are not yet a victim. But you see, those we talk about who are victims, it will be your own turn tomorrow. Those who died yesterday, they were watching the news 2 days ago. They didn't die. They were not dead then. But they were killed yesterday. Those who are going to be killed today, you are going to be reading the breaking news all over the place. Those are the victims of today, survivors of yesterday. And we have seen it, that the killings is not limited to a particular tribe than a particular religion, as then they kill Christians in their tens of thousands under these terrorists. They are also moving into mosques, killing worshippers, killing their imam, kidnapping everybody who are supposed to be reading the same Quran with them. So this is terrorism covered with the face of religion. Now, if you are kind of keeping quiet or supporting the terrorists in government, defending them because of where they come from, your tribe, then, I mean, you can't say you are bleeding then. You won't say you are. We are bleeding. The North is bleeding. Because to us, who do you think we will be calling on to? Who should we be calling? Government or God? Your government says you can't call them the way you want to call them out. So maybe you will just have to call on God, which millions of people are already calling on God every day. Hey, God help us. Oh, God, please come and bring this to an end. Oh, Adeboye, Pastor Adeboye, the general overseer for Redemption Church, he spoke to God. Baba spoke to God, and God told him. That's what he said. Oh, God told him that those who are sponsoring Boko Haram, those who are funding them, and those who are fighting and killing people in Nigeria, they will not see the end of 2020. That's what God told Baba Adeboye. And I don't think many of you are as close to God as Baba Adeboye or Bishop Oyedepo. These are people who I want to believe they are closer to God. And they be like saying their voice, be like 1 million voice to so many people, and they are so respected. Whether God did not even tell them anything about Boko Haram, or Baba Adeboye misread the expiring date for Boko Haram. Now, this year, Baba himself came out and he said, we know that many of you are preparing for, preparing for 2023. But how many of you are sure that you are even going to get to that 2023? This is just a refresher before I continue on the part of those of you who have used your money to defend APC, Egbekegbe, including those of you Lagos Abobakus, right? You use your money. Then in the afternoon, you look around for who to blame, since you've blamed everybody for why Buhari has failed. You decided to then not put responsibility on the people in your government, but on God. Now, that is like you playing God, okay? Before they kill you, right? Before you probably fulfill that your 2023 dream, even Baba Adeboye, that God told that Boko Haram were going to end in December 2020. This is December 2021. And according to Baba, it be like say, somehow, the terrorists are still going to be around for a while. But they will go away, according to Baba. Until then, make all of una go they pray. Right? I'm telling you this, 2023, that you are hoping for. Who knows?
This is 2021. Some people are already getting ready to kill themselves over 2023. And they don't even know whether there will be 2023. They don't even know if there is 2023, whether they will still be around. There's nobody here who can say for sure that we will still be around by tomorrow. Nobody. It is God who determines who will still be around by 2023. Somebody said to me, sir, who do you think should be president in 2023? I said, president of where? He said, president of Nigeria. How are you sure there will be Nigeria in 2023? How are you sure? Can you swear? I pray there will be, so don't misquote me. But are you sure? Are you sure?
Are you sure? Oh dear. It is not just the northern Nigeria that is bleeding. The entire Nigeria is bleeding. Nigerians are bleeding. Even though Buhari is touring, and the rest of APC, Egbekegbe, they are dancing the dance of shame on the graves of those Nigerians they told would never die in the hand of terrorists in 2015. Then you, the Buhari idiots, you are clowning. You are clowning. If you think you can cherry pick what you will be part of, as long as it affects APC, Egbekegbe, as long as it affects Tifnumbu, the Jaga bandits, the Jaga Were, Jaga addicts, the Jaga criminal, and the Asiwaju Awole, Asiwaju Awagberu of Lagos. And the rest of you gearing up. Now, turn by turn Nigeria Limited 2023. Are you sure? You know, so that person will die. 2023 will come. 2024 will come. 2030, 2060, 2100, 2200, year 20. Sorry, year 2200 rather. Year 2100, year 2200, year 2300. They are all gonna come. Your world ends the day you die. That's when your world ends. And so, like people said, everybody is milking from the rot that Nigeria has become. And you, Nigerians, you are the market. When you have when you have a pool of large poverty people, poverty striking the people, poor people, you can do anything you want with them. Trust me, that's what they have done to Nigerians. That is what they are doing to Nigerians. Religion, scam, trade, all this. You see, look at the level at which massive numbers of Nigerians are getting caught up in different scams, from one scam to another, one scam to another. They will say, hey, this one an investment, pay 10,000, collect 100,000, pay 5,000, collect 500,000. All these schemes, they are schemes that are always very popular among poor nations, among poor people who are so desperate to break financial, the financial jail that their country has put them. And in Nigeria, you have more than 120 million people in that bracket. So religion can be sold freely. There's nothing like we are being hypnotized. They use juju on us. Some of this religion, they are using juju. Some of this blah, 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 they are using the command. They are using touch and command. All those things are fake. Nobody needs any command tool, any say, do as I say, blah, 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 right? To manipulate people who are desperately in need of an upliftment. You don't need any abracadabra. You don't need sit down there. Hey, I said that man get too much jazz. He said that pastor, I will curse you. Pastor will tell you, I will curse you. I will curse your generation if you don't keep your mouth shut. Say, hey, pastor, please don't curse me. Oh, I'm already desperate. Oh, I'm struggling with life. Oh, Baba, don't curse me. Oh, forgive me. Oh, please. Oh, that's what happened in the pool of poverty, where people are desperate. Now, it is not just that, including those who are even trying to do well a bit. Since they are in that system, they are doing fine, Some of them will have job, they have a real life, they have things that you can touch. They shouldn't be intimidated by anybody. Say, I will curse you, you will lose your job. And the rest of that. Politicians will come in, it is within that pool. So nobody is really spared, so to say. It can be like, say, when you put crabs. So now crabs that they call them akon, or this alakon. Now crabs now, you put crabs in the buckets. Hundreds of crabs. Or thousands of crabs in a very big bucket. Bucket or bowl or bath. And then you see some climbing on that slippery plastic, climbing, then falling back, climbing, falling back. But if you leave it overnight, out of those thousands of crabs you put in a big bucket, yeah, you may wake up tomorrow morning and you will see like 50 who have jumped out of that bucket and they're already crawling everywhere. That's exactly the story of Nigerians. When you see those ones who have jumped out, who are those climbing, you realize that they are climbing on the back of others under them, doing everything they can to climb. So when they now climb, they can look down, the crabs. So when they are looking down and say, hey, oh boy, thank God, say no be me did that under. No, it's not me. I've managed to climb. Those are the people who have small money. Those who can send their children to private schools. They are still in Nigeria. When you say Nigeria is hard, they will say, about Nigeria, you get us to be. Well, we thank God. You know, we're thanking God. So what you do? I'm selling recharge card. I'm selling this. I'm into this and that because he is able to buy himself a car. He's able to pay his rent, living in a small place where his families, they feel safe. He's able to feed them. And in a way, he must continue to do what he is doing if he wants to continue to maintain that standard, because sooner than later, that poverty he managed to escape from. It's also catching up with him by the same system that made it so hard for him to break even from poverty in the first place. So like crabs in a bucket. Nigerians are like crabs in a bucket. So you'll be able to see some who have now jumped out of that bucket completely. And they're everywhere, walking, picking everywhere. Those are the ones who have either through education, they have managed to have life that is beyond Nigeria. They are not clinging on to the bucket. They are not looking down anymore. They are completely out of it. Most of the time, some of them are outside the country. Well-to-do, good life, moderate one, free as anything, compared to their counterpart back in Nigeria. So, because they have already jumped out of that bucket as a crab, and they are already everywhere seeing other things, how free it is, how it's not so necessary to cramp in a place, as they feel that freedom, some of them just forget what life was inside that bucket. Sometimes they just go back into that bucket to cling on and see what is going on back there. That's when they go back to Nigeria, just to see what is going back on and then thank God. Just like everybody will say, I thank God for my life. So that they can thank God that they decided not to remain in that bucket, to be trampled upon, to be climbed over, to be treated like a piece of shit, right? They are thanking God that they are not even just hanging, which means hanging means being on the wall, and they can fall back into that same bracket. Now they are out of it. God must be so good to them. And when you compare these numbers to the numbers of the crabs in that bucket, then you will be like, does that mean God ate those ones? Every time they tell you to thank God that your life is better than the other people's lives, the question you should ask is, does that mean God loves you more than them? Does that mean they must also be kind of second class as well in that hierarchy of that God? Critical thinking will tell you that it is not God, it is man. Man-made problem. That's because they will not take responsibility, and because they have damaged the larger percentage of their population from being able to have critical thinking. Everybody can just put it onto God. But have you asked yourself, does God hate those who are trapped in there? Does God hate those who are finding it so hard without help to survive in that place? Does that mean God hates them? And if God loves all of us, why is it taking God this long to make life better for them? But it's very easy. Your religious leaders made you believe that God can be a magician. And I believe many of you are indeed going to agree with them. There's nothing God cannot do. My brother, I have been told that since I was a child. Do you think I am not going to go to hellfire now if I tell you that I don't believe in that crap? in that crap, I call it. It is a very easy way to put responsibility on the God who gives you brain to help yourselves fix every man-made problems, because you are a man. Does that mean I'm going to go to hellfire? That I don't believe in that crap, in that nonsense? Nothing God cannot do. And I'll tell you why it is what it is. I love it when people can separate, their religion and then from when it comes to public, what have you. But unfortunately, the same people want you or crucify you, this deputy, let me say this God advocate on earth, secretary of God, a spokesperson for God, gatekeeper of hell, the timekeeper for paradise, and the rest of all those titles that Nigerians have given to themselves since they know how God works. But when you ask them, what happened to the rest of those people who are being killed, this and that? I mean, this is not right. Why shouldn't God stop them? They'll say, but God is not going to come down and do it. Man will do it. Oh, yeah. You agree that man has to do his own part before you can then say, oh, thank God that was successful. Abi? So you believe that too, that man will do his own part. That is the part that they continue to make you think is irrelevant since God is involved. God is powerful than man. God is going to blah, 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 blah. In order to deny man his own responsibility, the failure, the technique that your political leaders continue to latch on. So if you now agree that a man has to do his own part, then you and I can be on the same page and say it has nothing to do with God. It has nothing to do with your sins. It has nothing to do with visions and all this nonsense that they probably push out there, because you are in that bracket of the poverty capital of the world. My brother and sister, what do you expect? Poverty capital of the world, where you have over 160 million people poor, living in abject poverty. People go to see vision now. If you know chop well, Baba, you go to see vision now. So that is why we want people to always carry it with faith. People who knows that man needs to do his part and God will do his own part. People of faith. Maybe all of us get that kind of faith though. So, and on the Maiyegun General political inside the temple of truth, right? Now, combination of all congregational Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Jews, Odudu, Albatala, worshippers, traditionalists, call them whatever you want to call them now, right? Including those who don't believe in anything. On Maiyegun General political, it is about critical thinking, where you can separate your faith from critical thinking, because religion doesn't let you think straight. Let me say that to you, and let me repeat it again. If you have met Nigerians, right, you will realize that religion completely doesn't let them think. They don't think straight. Not all of us, so I'm talking about the majority. You see, when you are having a conversation and they're like, okay. The moment you get into that religion part, their brains will freeze. At that point, they want to see if you are going to say something against God. They want to see if they want to hear if you are going to say something against their prophets. They want to, you know what I mean? Their brains will freeze at that point, right away. Everything you will be saying afterward is just going to be like you are attacking them. So religion don't let people think straight. That's why people can't think straight. They just say, God knows best. God will give me the vision. God will talk to me. God will give me 3 days. I want to go and pray about. That's what religion does to you. Critical thinkers, right? Don't wait for a vision. Critical thinkers, they don't assume enough that a problem will go away as long as they have faith. And that's all the clashes, by the way. So today, wherever you found yourself, you know the problem of Nigeria. You know why Nigeria is not working and it will never work. But if you haven't come to that conclusion yet, that too shouldn't make you to continue to defend the system that is not working, that could likely kill you anytime, and it can happen to anybody anytime. So for those who came out to say the North is bleeding, fine. Not be only the North is bleeding. Biafra land is bleeding too. And this time around they are not actually bleeding from the hands of Fulani terrorists alone. They are bleeding from the hands of the Nigerian terrorists, the Nigerian military, #1 terrorist organization in the entire Africa, official one, not unofficial, Nigerian military, who chose to channel their resources into attacking soft targets, the civilians, asking for referendum, while they continue to give us excuses for the terrorists up north who have the capacity to set to set 42 Nigerians ablaze, and indeed go into a church and kidnap 65 people, and they've done a lot as well. So if you are from the north and you are for Buhari, and you think when we talk, we speak or say something is about against Buhari, and not just against Buhari, but when you feel like anything against Buhari is against the north, well, if the fire hits you now for bomb, and you are really ready to end the terrorism your way, yeah, the southern Nigerian youths are already waiting. Okay? It's up to you. Olatunji Babatunde, my very good big brother. Thank you. He said, Maiyegun, I'm your regular listener. You always amaze me. You've said it all, that our people lack critical thinking. No doubt about that. But in a matter of time, breakfast, which is true. Everybody, Loma feel. But Koto Konwa, yes, we will see how many people will save from the ignorance of God go do it go better, it go change. Maybe one day somebody will come. No, nobody comes and kicks this away. Okay, until you are tired of it. But if you are not, until you are tired of it. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to try and come back later this evening. So now I've got a lot of time on my hand. I've got my studying time I have to do. And then apart from that, you will see more of me now. You're going to see more of Maiyegun's diary every now and then. Because, I've got what is called the career break, to those who knows. So if you are still supporting Maiyegun, and you are always going to be supporting Maiyegun, if you are watching me on Facebook or, even on YouTube, if this is your first time, go on to my YouTube channel, okay? Click on that subscription, okay? Set your notification and set it to on. All notification, right? And you can also be a paying member of Maiyegun's Diary Political by becoming either a silver, gold, premium, and whatever you member. All of these are put together to help content creators in order to advance in what we are doing. And so far, so good. I've had a great people. I've had a lot of support from you. And this time around is very, very critical for you to keep that going, while I also keep you informed. So thank you to every one of you. Every one of you. I'm going to see you later this evening. And then until then, stay safe, stay safe. And our brothers from the north and sisters from the north, if we're not tired, really, we will know. Until then, shall stay safe.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá ayé ẹ̀sùn rájú aṣòfin tí